This feast of the Epiphany is a central one in the Christmas season and in our church year, one that occurs as we begin a new year, and it serves to remind us then not only of the will of God, but our mission as the church. Because as the wise men seek and find the Christ child, they represent all Gentiles. That is, those who did not know the God of Israel. And so, through this story, we learn how it is God's will to be known not only to his chosen people Israel, but indeed to all the nations through his Son, Jesus Christ. How did these magi find Christ? We all know, by observing a star. Indeed, a single point of light that somehow stood out in the darkness of the night sky. It was this that led them to the Christ child. This then becomes for us a succinct expression of our work as the church. That is, every one of us who possesses a baptismal certificate. Indeed, we are each called to be points of light in the darkness, points of light capable of calling others to see Jesus Christ. Now, we should all agree there is absolutely no shortage of darkness in our world if darkness represents the ways of this world in which we are presently living. Even the news that comes to us from various media this very weekend is filled with the reports of deadly violence and injustice against the innocent. And the entertainment that is provided to us on a regular basis on television and in the cinema has become progressively more and more crass and base. Those who are stars of film and television, and sadly, even some of sports, indeed celebrities who grab the limelight, behave as badly off-screen as they do on, and without any regret or shame whatsoever. So to be a point of light in the midst of darkness means that we have to learn how to swim against a cultural tide. It means we have to deliberately choose to live a different way, indeed a gospel way, with all the challenge and difficulty that this will entail for us, because it is not popular to do so. It isn't encouraged by any other sector of society except the church. Yet it is the only way to be a point of light in the darkness that can lead others to Jesus Christ. Whenever contemporary Gentiles, indeed those who do not know God as they were not raised with faith, when they come to faith and are asked what inspired them to do so, it usually isn't because they watched a broadcast of a papal mass that caught their attention, as much as it is a faithful person who sparked their interest, one who because of their outright goodness was attractive, one who because they were different in a positive way stood out, and by embodying the gospel in their words and in their actions were able to point them to Jesus Christ. Who can say what will happen to us on Judgment Day? But it is not implausible to think that we may each be asked if there are any whose faith we have inspired or reawakened or affirmed or deepened or strengthened. Certainly, we will probably have to answer if the opposite, God forbid, be true. So above all, let this feast of the Epiphany, the story of that star leading the wise men to Jesus, serve always to remind us to take our mission as baptized believers in Jesus Christ absolutely seriously. Therefore, while this new year is still young, let us make the resolution to redouble our efforts to be people who live primarily by the teachings of the gospel, so that we can be that light in darkness who are effective in leading others to encounter and hopefully then to believe with us in Jesus Christ.